I felt better when I ate sandwiches. I really don't think that a cookie's gonna really hurt that much. I mean, a big bowl of pasta always settled my stomach. I always felt so much better. I felt better when I ate carbs. Let's talk about all the lies we tell ourselves when we are mourning the loss of food on the keto diet. We have a lot to talk about today, guys, so come on, let's get started.
It's Caroline. I love you guys.
Hey everybody. Okay guys, we have some serious stuff to talk about and I want to dig right in. You know, it doesn't matter where you are on your journey on the ketogenic lifestyle or low carb lifestyle really, but I'm going to tell you each and every one of us does go through a stage of mourning the loss of some of the foods that were just go-to foods or foods that we really enjoyed or foods that we ate on a regular basis. And our mind can play a lot of tricks on us during this phase. I think that most of us have gone through this, especially in the first few weeks of trying to heal your body and change your way of eating. And I think that we need to touch on it because I'm sure a lot of you guys are dealing with that right now, especially if you just started trying to eat keto and trying to reduce carbs out of your life. So I thought that maybe we would have a little bit of coffee. I'm, of course, on my iced coffee because that's my favorite thing. I do drink bulletproof coffee in the morning. But after that, I usually like to have a really big iced coffee. And I just do coffee and heavy whipping cream and stir that in hot and then I pour that over ice. So good. One of my favorite things to drink. Okay, guys. So, you know, this is something that you really, really need to think about because for many, many years, we have been eating the wrong foods. You know, we're eating breads, we're eating pastas, we're eating boxed foods, we're eating products that have a lot of additives and a lot of inflammatory properties in them. And we really didn't even realize the harm that we were doing to our bodies. You know, for me, if I didn't feel good in the evening or if I have a stomach ache or if I was stressed out and feeling something in the pit of my stomach, then I would make myself like a bologna sandwich or something and a big glass of milk and I'd feel so much better because it was just like it was pushed down. It was like soothing in my stomach and yeah, I might have felt full, but it just felt satisfying or something to me. That's just for me. I'm sure you guys have your own things that you would eat. Some people that like sweets would do cookies or, you know, a cake or whatever it happens to be. And so when we are trying to eat healthy and when our body is adjusting to not eating the foods that we have been eating, there's going to be a time that you start feeling like you're second guessing what you're doing. You know, you might have started out on doing low carb or the ketogenic diet and you notice that you're not feeling as inflamed. You're starting to notice that you're feeling more clear-minded. Maybe you had the keto flu and you're just getting on the other side of it. And, you know, a week in, people are, you know, eating the foods that they normally eat, that you used to eat around you. And maybe you have lost weight. Maybe you haven't lost as much as you were hoping you were going to lose. And you start questioning life. You start questioning, well, you know, was it really, I mean, I could probably have a little bread or I could probably have one cookie or I could probably have this. You know, keep in mind that your body has to adjust to this and there's a lot of internal healing that is going to be taking place once all of that inflammation starts to go away. You're going to have ups and downs and you're going to have moments like that, but you do have to trust the process and it's not always a quick process. A lot of people lose, you know, a pretty good amount of weight in the first couple of weeks because once your body lets go of that inflammation, you're losing a lot of water. water weight, really. And so that's what people say. And when you first lose weight, oh, well, that's water weight. It is true because it's really inflammation. Some people, their bodies will let go of that right away in the first week. And some people, it takes a couple of 2 to 3 weeks to let go. So it's just, it just really depends upon your body and how, I don't want to say strict you are, but how much you limit the carbs or other inflammatory foods. Because you could be eating low carbs, but you could be eating things that do still have inflammatory ingredients. And so you're letting go some of the water weight, but you're also still holding on to some of it. I hope that makes sense. But it's just a process. Eventually your body is going to adjust to it. And everybody is different. Everybody is different. And you have to also keep in mind that sometimes people have, a lot more weight to lose and they're going to lose a lot quicker than another person. Or, not much weight and it's going to be a little bit more of a slower process. Or maybe you don't hold on to a lot of inflammation like some people do. So it's all just a personal thing, and you're going to have to find that you are going to adjust this lifestyle to what works for you. I noticed Debbie, I think it was, you commented in the group about not having a gallbladder, and you guys were questioning that. I don't have a gallbladder either, and a lot of people don't have gallbladders because that's one of the top surgeries in the US. You can still be successful on keto. You may just need to adjust your fat intake initially or while your body adjusts to this. I did post a link to Dr. Ken Berry on YouTube where he discusses this, specifically the ketogenic diet and also not having a gallbladder, and gives some tips on that, and I will try to link that below here too. He's super informative, so if you have any underlying health issues that you have a question about, you can search on YouTube Dr. Ken Berry and then search his channel for pretty much any topic. If you've got thyroid or hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's or any of those kind of things, he does have videos on those topics that can help you. But sometimes it's just simply a matter of adjusting your fat intake. But in any event, reducing inflammatory foods in our diet, reducing carbs and the foods that cause us to cause inflammation internally. It may not be that your feet and hands are swelling, but it very well could be that your organs are inflamed. So there's more to this than just losing weight. I will say, and I'm not going to get into deep detail on this yet, but I will do a video in the future on this. I do have a condition that is called lipedema. Not lymphedema, but called lipedema. And what it is it's basically a fat disorder. It's a disorder where I and many other women have an abnormal storage of fat cells that are primarily in your lower extremities. So that would be my legs, hips, butt area. And so with that, I was diagnosed about 5 years ago with that. And the low-carb ketogenic lifestyle is supposed to help with that. And then there are some surgical treatments for it, but not something I'm able to do at any time soon. But that causes me to store fat cells in my lower extremities. If I lost all of my weight that I need to lose, any extra pounds, I'm still going to have bigger legs. I'm still going to have bigger thighs and calves because I do have lipedema unless I have that treated. So for me, I recognize that there may be times that I don't lose weight on certain weeks. Or moving forward with this, I may have longer stalls. I've had a couple of things where I just, I lost maybe 1 pound in a week. And it's okay because I am paying attention to other things and some of the other benefits of this. Like how more clear-minded I am. How much more energy that I have. How I'm not achy or sore when I wake up in the morning. How I'm sleeping better. How I'm not having mood swings, how I don't have anxiety like I was having, how I'm not feeling so depressed like I had been feeling for quite a while. And so there's other health benefits to this ketogenic lifestyle, And with it also comes weight loss. So it's kind of a bigger picture. It's not only about weight loss, although that is what we all are. I don't want to say all, but the majority of us started doing keto because we wanted to lose weight. That comes naturally, because as you are feeling better, you're moving more, you're burning more calories, you're making better choices on eating because you feel so much better. So I don't want anybody getting discouraged if you are not losing as quick as somebody else. It is a process, and you will catch up, believe me. You will catch up. Some people, their body just holds on to that stored inflammation and stored water in their cells until it just can't anymore. And then all of a sudden you have a big, what they call a whoosh, and all of a sudden you drop, 10 pounds really, really quickly. But with all of that being said, there is a mourning period for the foods that you can no longer eat, or that you shouldn't eat, or that you really loved before. You're going to have a period that you just mourn those foods. And during that time, you can be tempted to say, oh, well, I felt so much better when I was eating a sandwich at 9 o'clock at night before I went to bed because my stomach felt better. Or I felt so much better when I was eating sugar. Or I felt so much, better when I ate pasta. It was more satisfying. Or whatever it is. These are lies that we tell ourselves. These are lies that our body is trying to tell us are true. We enjoyed that food. We may have enjoyed the texture of it. We may have enjoyed even the flavor of it. But it wasn't doing us any good. Trust me. These are inflammatory foods that are not giving us much nutritional value, but are really wreaking havoc on our system, clogging our arteries, causing our blood pressure to go up, and all of these other things. So I think if you are struggling with this, where you are second guessing yourself, or maybe you're having a little bit of a slower period of time with losing, one of the things that you might want to look at is the foods that you are eating. And make sure that they don't have any of the inflammatory ingredients. Since you're new at doing keto, you may not know all of those ingredients, and I will try to link to a post on inflammatory foods or inflammatory ingredients for you guys. I don't have that on my website yet, but I'm going to work on that for you this week and see what I can get. But one of the things that you could do is start trying to eliminate anything that is not natural. So stay as natural as you can as far as like meats and vegetables and seasonings and things, instead of going for the packaged products that are lower in carb. I am lazy keto. I know I've made that perfectly clear. So in other words, generally speaking, I am really just paying attention to the number of carbs that I'm eating in a day and keeping it under 20. Some days I'm eating all natural stuff. I'm only eating like eggs and some form of meat and lettuce, salads and, vegetables that are cooked together. And some days I'm eating hot dogs and shredded cheese and kielbasa sausage and things like that are packaged that are lower in carbs. And that's fine because that is what works for me. But some of those packaged products do have inflammatory ingredients. Kelly in my group is much more informed on that than I am, and so she will look at ingredients a lot of times and say, well, I would maybe stay away from that, or you have to be careful with that because that could affect you because of the inflammatory ingredients. I don't pay that close attention to that myself. So if you have a question on something specific, you can post it. Hopefully Kelly will jump in there, or one of the other experienced ketogenic lifestyle members of our group can comment on those things and kind of let you know. Or again, I'll do a blog post on it and I will list some of the ingredients that you want to watch for. But if you're having a little slower time on losing weight, you might want to just check your ingredients on some of the things that you are eating. And also, sometimes people need to back off of dairy just a little bit. For me, I initially was eating, there was a couple of weeks that I ate too much protein. And sorry, my dog came back in here. I ate too much protein. And so I had slowed down on my weight loss because I was eating way more protein than I was fat. And that stalled me out a little bit. So you need to pay attention to that. But anyways, listen, there are a lot of things that our mind will trick us on, a lot of lies that we'll tell ourselves on how much better we felt when we were eating some of these foods, or why we can maybe have this food, or why we can have that. So, we need to just trust the process, especially in the beginning. It takes a little bit of time. Your body has to adjust. Your hormones have to balance back out. Who knows what kind of damage you've done to your body in all of these years. You don't even know because it's all internal. But it does balance out, and it does catch up if you stay eating the right things and you eat a more natural diet and you're more satisfied. One of the things that I watched on Dr. Ken Berry had mentioned too is that if you are insulin resistant, which that doesn't mean that you're diabetic, it just means that your body is resistant to insulin, that especially initially, anything sweet that you put in your mouth can cause an insulin spike within your body. So if you are starting keto and you right off the bat are like, well, I got to eat all these sweets, and I'm eating artificial sweetener, I'm adding stevia, I'm making the, keto cookies, I'm doing the, keto yummy, chocolate or whatever it is, very well, that could be the cause of your slower weight loss. I would suggest that you try to eliminate anything artificial, especially sweeteners, anything like that, especially during the initial phases of it, because you don't want to hold yourself back at all from your body adjusting to it. Yeah, it sucks. If you like to eat sweets and you can't have sweets, especially during the beginning because your body needs to adjust, it sucks not to eat sweets. I get it. It sucked for me big time not to eat bread and rice. I love rice. Rice is my go-to thing, and that was really hard. I've had diverticulitis. During my little journey here, I've had a couple of attacks of diverticulitis that were not good, and I thought about quitting, and I did quit for a couple of days. Like, I'd go off it for a couple of days to let my system balance back out, but I'd get right back to it because I know how much better I feel, and I've had to adjust some things because my body responds in different ways than somebody else's. So recognize that there is going to be a little bit of an adjustment period. There is going to be a mourning period for the foods that you can't eat anymore. There is going to be, some denial on what you can and cannot have. That's a natural process. But if you trust the process and you stay with it and you stop eating the inflammatory foods, or at least reduce them, you're going to notice enough of a difference that it'll keep you going. Even if you can't do full keto, if you can do it, halfway in the beginning until you can adjust, it's going to help. It's going to help you feel better, and it's going to help heal your body. I promise you that. It works. It's a great way of eating when you're eating more natural foods, when you're getting rid of all this box stuff that isn't what Mother Nature intended us to eat. It does help. It really, really does help. So I just want to continue to encourage you guys, and I appreciate every one of you in this group. I appreciate the encouragement that you give me too. We're all in this together. It's going to be bumpy at times. We're going to have highs and we're going to have lows. We're going to have times that we are just excited because of the progress that we've made. And there's times that we feel disappointed because we didn't make the right decisions that we felt like we should have made. But it's all okay. It's all just a journey. We're all just learning. We're all getting better as we go. So I love you guys, and I'm here for you. If I can do anything to help you guys, I will. I know that there's so many people in this group that are so helpful and willing to jump in also, and encourage those of you that are just getting started. Keep watching some of the posts of the people that have been doing this a little bit longer, and don't get discouraged if they've made faster progress than you. We don't really know what their circumstances are. Don't get discouraged on that, but just watch and pay attention to the posts and how people are saying that they feel and the other improvements in their life. Pay attention to those things, because really those are the things that are going to be a long-term goal for you. You know, once you've lost the weight, if you've lost all of your weight, you still want to be feeling better. You still want to be happier. You still want to not have hormonal imbalances or ups and downs on your moods. You know, you still want to have all of those great feelings that come with eating a much better lifestyle. So comment below, guys, if this has helped you in any way. It really helps me to know that the information that I'm giving you is helpful to you. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. It helps me out as well. Like this video and share with your friends that can benefit from it. I love you guys, and I will see you soon.